bright, like vivid.
Oh, the lights. All right, y'all. It's December 4th. Coming back at you again. I know I'm doing 2 for 1 today. I mean, it's been like that, huh? The other day I did 3. Today I'm doing 2. I got my partner. You in the picture? It's just the light ain't bright.
Thoroughbred in the house.
I got my partner Thoroughbred with me. This is one of my childhood friends, and we just talking about people being in their feelings, whether emotions getting out of hand, with road rage on the street, in relationships, people just being too extra. I mean, like, at some point you gotta learn that if you're in a relationship, it's because y'all love each other, y'all care about each other, and when you go in too hard, sometimes you can't recover from that, or people don't want to recover from that. So it's just like, how much in your feelings you want to get. I never forget, I was in a relationship and I was sharing my vision and dream of opening up a particular type of business. And I never forget, she said, "That's stupid." I don't even want to help you with that.
Damn.
And I mean, that just crushed me. I just kind of balled up and didn't say nothing. I ain't cry, but it was just like, I kind of felt like I wanted to cry, but I couldn't cry. And I was just like, I chose you to be with. Like, it was just like, I'm just like thinking for a minute. And my reaction was, from that day forward, I was cheating in the relationship. And I was in my feelings. I'm talking about me, now. And I'm not blaming her for what she said, but as a man, I gotta be responsible and confident in what the vision God gave me to move through it, no matter what somebody gotta say about it. Now, I ain't gonna say don't consult wise counseling, but on both parts, what she said was foul, and especially in the presentation of it all. My reaction was foul, especially with the understanding that we still in the commitment, and I don't have to react like that. Did I have enough manhood or self-confidence to confront it without being verbally abusive? No, I didn't. And a lot of times I recognized that I felt like my temper was not in place, so certain conversations I wouldn't have because I felt like it was gonna get out of hand. Especially say somebody already done did something stupid, then they add to it and say something more stupid. So it was just like, I'm internalizing. But I recognize you can speak about something that's bothering you without going all off on the deep end, because you love yourself and you've set boundaries for yourself, no matter how the other person gonna react. And yes, it takes some anger management to get there, and you gotta grow from the boy to the man, or from the woman, from the girl to the woman or lady, or however you want to classify it, to do mature things. And you have to recognize what's most important. Do I want to leave a stain on somebody, or do I want to plant a seed so that even if we don't stay together, there's a growing moment to say, you may have stained me, but I didn't stain you back. I didn't recycle the process of hurt. You may have hurt me, but I ain't gonna be the hurt person that hurt you back. And I ain't gonna do nothing stupid while I'm medicating on whether it's substance or sex or anger to hurt myself or to hurt you. You got anything you want to add to that?
No, I'm vibing. I'll get some.
Okay, no problem. Another situation, and I talked about this on a previous post. But at some point, we gotta learn how to have confrontation, where it's just conversation versus too much unnecessary frustration. Meaning, I don't have to argue and fuss and fight with you just because I disagree with you. We can agree to disagree, and I can still love you. And I'm gonna tell y'all ladies something. Y'all gotta stop denying sex just because you in your feelings. We hurt too, and for me, I would rather be with my woman, whether she mad at me or I'm mad at her, than sit up here and step out and have to go somewhere else.
But why would you want to have sex? I'm defending her now, but why would she want to have sex if she mad with you? What kind of sex is that?
Because she made a covenant. Because we made a covenant relationship. I'm talking about marriage.
That ain't gonna be.
That's fine. That's fine.
That ain't gonna be no good.
It may.
You just busting a nut.
But at the same time, it's just like if
go
there's.
in the bathroom for that.
I'm just saying, it is love the overarching thing. Can we address the issue? Can we, make some reconciliation over it? Can I love you more than I want to be mad at you? Have I forgotten that I still love you? Have I forgotten I made a commitment to you? And I understand what you're saying. And I respect it to a point. But at the same time, if your anger gonna go on for weeks on end, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I think that's a little bit, I know that's immature. The Bible say you should not let the sun go down on your anger. Yeah. So when you allow stuff to fester for days on end, guess what? Right then, that's more so what I'm talking about. Yeah, we can be upset for the moment and just, that day go by. You know what I'm saying? But the next day, it should be a little less, and we should be able to talk about it and move forward from it, depending on the level of it. And if it's something small, I shouldn't pick a sword at something small. I shouldn't make a mountain out of a molehill. And a lot of us do that because we got some internal stuff that we don't want to deal with. And now somebody done pulled the scab off a sword that you ain't even got nothing to do with. And a lot of us getting married and getting in relationships with folks who done been with somebody already before. You know what I'm saying? Whether sexually or just been in another relationship, or even daddy issues or mama issues, whether it's the male or the female, where some previous hurts that ain't got nothing to do with the person that you're dealing with right now. You know what I'm saying? So when I say that, it's like, do you remember that you love this person? Do you remember why you said I do? Or do you remember why you said I commit to you in relationship so that we can be in a space of more that we can agree upon, or respect each other enough to say, you know what, I still love you. And if it is a breach where we can't, it's an impasse, hey, we gotta part ways. But don't sit up here and just keep marinating and regurgitating hurt.
Well, that's how you train her to be.
That ain't necessarily how I trained her to be.
I say train, y'all don't get it misconstrued as you I'm saying like a dog or anything. But it's
we train people how to treat us. We train each other how to treat us. Right.
It's how you go into that. I think we're rushing to sex too much.
Definitely.
We definitely rushing to sex because my ego is, boy, how fast can I get her in the bed? You know what I mean? And then once you accomplish that, you still keeping this mask on, you know what I mean? And then when it gets to the real core of the relationship or the marriage, now you're ready to take the mask down and show who you really are. And it's somebody that she don't like, neither do you like yourself. So what we need to do is just be ourselves and don't be rushing to the sex. Be rushing to friendship. Now, honesty, open-mindedness, realness, you know what I mean? Rush to that. Because that way, the relationship cannot possibly go wrong if everybody being open-minded and honest. It's no way possible that the relationship will go wrong. You know what I'm saying? If everybody coming to the table, mask off. This is me. You know what I'm saying? Either you like it or you don't. You know what I mean?
But a lot of people don't love themselves enough to come with the mask off. To show their true selves.
That's true. Now, I wear one sometimes.
Right. And in certain environments, you should wear a mask. There should be certain layers that are earned for somebody to get to know deeper levels of you. Not to say that you shouldn't allow yourself to be who you are. We're not saying that, but we are saying that, hey, check it. We should not give all the jewels in the beginning. You should know where my mama lived in the first conversation.
Oh no, most definitely not.
In the first conversation, you shouldn't even know where I live. In the first conversation. We need to establish some type of
that's something we know.
Boundary.
Don't go by that.
Right. It should be some type of boundary.
Some dudes taking it to the house on the first night.
Well, that's a whole different. We talking about relationship. We ain't talking about this new modern dating. This new smash and go. I mean,
you texting your address.
Right.
Come on over.
Right.
Netflix and chill just because you want to have sex.
Right. 3 or 4 all day.
Hell no.
Yeah,
And
but
you're not even coming into my chill spot. You know what I'm saying?
because your
If
home,
I just want to hit,
right? Your
you're
home,
not knowing nothing personal.
right? Your home is your last level
Man, what?
of protection.
Man,
That's
what?
your last line of defense.
That's your castle.
And a king and a queen
Yeah.
must guard that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Even as us growing up together, being Ace Boone Coon, I haven't been all through your house. I done been into some secret places in your house, but I ain't been all through your house and know your secret compartments, and I don't always come to your house. I know exactly where you live at. You know what I'm saying? And I already know the code did not bring nobody to your house unless I already told you. You know what I'm saying? That's the code we have started. That's the code we're gonna end with.
And that's what
and vice versa.
And that's what he's saying. We've trained each other on how to treat us.
I know how Mike is. Mike don't play that by his personal space. And he ain't never had to say, I brought nobody over to his house. And it'll never happen.
Vice versa. Same thing here.
Exactly.
You know, and you gotta remember,
something though?
right? And you gotta remember this.
That boy do not play that.
Everybody do not have the same upbringing that you, the same values that you.
But you taught me that.
And if you don't love yourself enough to communicate your values, you can't expect somebody to respect those values.
How they gonna read your mind?
Or to love you. How can somebody love you if you don't let them know how to love you? Think about that now.
Yeah, that's exactly right, man. You know, I was thinking about a lot of relationships, man. You know, and how we let stuff slide. You know what I'm saying? I've let stuff slide, hoping that, well, not hoping, but when the time comes for me to let me slide, she don't let me slide, and I get mad. But hell, you shouldn't have let it slide. You know what I'm saying? You should have your principles and codes all the time. That should be the principle and code that you live by. Damn, boy,
I didn't even know how to get off from right the way.
Yeah, he in the wrong one, right? He definitely in the wrong. I don't know what they racing.
Hey, they trying to get something
happen right, but he moving wrong into that right one.
Well, and that just goes to say,
and it probably just somebody done stole a pocketbook or something, man.
Regardless,
damn, they flying, bro.
when we're making decisions, let's talk about us with the police.
Okay.
Some of us just wrong with the police. The first thing you need to do is present yourself in a non-threatening manner.
Exactly.
They got guns and the law on their side.
Exactly.
Thing down in Texas, the man, trying to protect his house with his gun out, with his rifle out, and the next thing you know, the police come out, bop, bop, they done shot him, and which I think is wrong, because the man ain't had a chance to put his gun down, and he's screaming out, hey, look, this is my house. I'm not pointing at nobody, I'm pointing inside my house, because somebody done broke into my house. And a neighbor has called saying, hey, this guy walking around pointing inside. The security guard is pointing inside, his own, this guy's pointing inside. He didn't say he was pointing at anybody, but as soon as the police get out and point. Now, I can't talk about those, but I can talk about the situation when you are legitimately pulled over. And even if you feel like you have not been legitimately pulled over, if the police ain't coming out with guns blazing on you, and even if they are, hey, hands up. You need to turn these lights on inside the car. Hands up. Let them know you're not a threat.
Yeah.
Because they got to go home too. You don't know what type of PTSD they got.
Yeah.
And the mission is be alive, survive the moment.
Yeah.
Survive the moment enough without getting shot, dead,
Right.
or hurt, or maimed, or beat the slop.
Right.
Because your mouth done popped off in a way that has emasculated, degraded, disrespected at the least this other human being who don't know who you are, don't know what they expect from you, and probably got a family at home, his own frustration situation, this, that, and the other, and he's not even trying to figure out what you're trying to do, especially when you acting suspicious. Turn the car off. Turn the lights on inside the car.
Right.
Keep your mouth shut. Don't say nothing stupid, even if you feel like they being stupid or disrespectful. Deal with that in another day, in another way, so you can drive away with your life. Because too many of us getting shot because too many of us are acting stupid with the police.
Yeah.
And a lot of us don't have the white privilege. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah.
That other people do.
Yeah.
And until you be the change that you want to see, you may not get the changes that you want to see. So I'm just gonna put that out there.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you want to be able to drive away or walk away, however that transpires. Nobody wants to go to your funeral and be say, man, you know, whatever, another whatever. It's just the reality in which we live. It ain't fair, it ain't right, but guess what? It's a is. It's a current is. And it all goes back to get out your feelings. And it goes further to say, do you love yourself or your family enough to get out your feelings to do what you got to do? Do you love your woman enough to recognize she may be having a bad day, to just let things slide for a minute and then address it when things calm down? When you keep adding fire to a fire, you add a bigger what? A bigger fire. So at what point do you want to be the king of your household, your relationship, and allow your queen to be the queen too, without staining each other? These are things we got to consider. Let's think about your kids. You come home mad, frustrated, or your mate, this male or female, you mad about something else, and you end up taking it out on them. That's wrong. You need to check yourself on the way home. Get your screaming, fussing, praising, whatever you need to do, communing with God, whatever you need to do to get yourself back even keeled. Yeah. Because if you don't, guess what? It's got to come out somewhere. Yeah. When that steam is boiling, it's got to come out somewhere. Yeah. And it usually come out where we feel like we can get away with it. And we end up going overboard on the ones that we say we love. Yeah. And it's like, do we really love? Yeah. Or is that a convenience thing we saying? Yeah. Can you really protect your family from you? You know, I had a relative that brought some heat to the house, and I'm ready to just fire him up. I'm like, how you gonna bring that to so-and-so house? These jokers coming to be malicious. And
hold on, what now? What happened?
We videoing, so I ain't.
I know. I'm just saying.
No, so
you ain't gotta say.
So there was an altercation, and the
at your house.
This ain't my house. This is relative. So I'm trying to be very general.
I got you.
But the altercation resulted in these folks knocking on the parents' door, looking for, and I know you can relate to this, looking for the guy to try and, you know, get some retaliation.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, are you of the mind to recognize, you know what, maybe I shouldn't have this altercation. Maybe I just need to walk away. It ain't being about being a coward. I just got something more important to protect. And that's what real men do. They recognize, you know what, I gotta let you slide on this. Yeah. Even if you don't understand, or they don't understand, or the crowd don't understand, I understand enough to know, guess what? We gonna slide on this one. Because if I ride on you based on this situation, the frustration that come back, I can't really handle it. I can't risk it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I know if you come knocking on my mama door, oh, it's a whole nother level of disrespect. And, you know, I mean, I hate to say this, but I'm just gonna leave that alone. Yeah, I'm sure y'all understand what that pause meant. You know, but that can't be. Certain things can't be tolerated. Yeah. You ain't finna knock on my mama door. That's another thing we don't do. We ain't gonna get into all that. You know, you just ain't finna knock on my mama door. Hell no. I mean, hey, you just call it what you want. Not for trying to bring frustration. You know, that's just wrong. You know, there will be repercussions. Man. It's just a is. It's just a is. Yeah. You know, I mean. And certain partners I got, you ain't finna knock on their door. No. It's just a is. You don't want to do that. You know, it's just a is. And but at the same time, you gotta have, if you gonna say something like that, you gotta have partners that ain't stupid, where you always, you know, running up to defend somebody who being stupid. Even if it's a female that you with, like, you know she doing stupid stuff, and when the definition of stupid is doing stuff that you know better. Don't start no fight with somebody when you know better than to do what you doing, because you started the situation. You didn't have to go there with somebody, but I'm supposed to back all your stupidity. What? No. And y'all need to be careful of choosing mates who so ready to throw attitude, and then they gonna look at you like you my man, or you my woman, so you need to back my stupidity. Right. Male or female now. I mean, just think about it. Loyalty to a fault has a great cost that everybody ain't ready to pay. So consider the cost and the people that you're choosing. And I used to tell, when I was a teacher, I used to tell my students all the time, somebody need to be out of jail. Somebody need to be out of jail to bail somebody else out. And I ain't even gonna talk about the Michael Vick situation when somebody should have just took that little slap on the wrist instead of bringing stuff back to the house, where the man who making all the money have to get really, locked down on some stuff and mess up.
Wasn't that crazy?
Yeah, but anyway, I ain't say all that. I ain't talking about all that. But it still goes into the get out your feelings, get out your ego, look at the bigger picture. What are you putting at risk or at jeopardy because you don't want to be responsible for what wrong you did? Yeah. So it all goes back to get out your feelings. Yeah. I mean, we can even take it to the workplace. Are you doing the job you paid to do? And if you not, and somebody check you about it when you in the wrong, are you gonna get in your feelings, walk off the job, quit, and get what? You ain't getting paid. You need another job. I mean, you need to think about this. When you go from job to job to job, if you done did 3 jobs in 1 year, well, you done quit, got fired, or whatever, transition to the next. That's a record. That's of these things happening, and you have to think about, like, am I really gonna be employable by somebody else? Am I gonna make the money that I want to make? And think about those in between times. How many times I'm gonna be able to borrow money or this, that, and the other from somebody just to make it to the next, whatever, for folks to get burned out with that. I don't lend money out because I know I'm looking for my stuff back, and if I don't get it back, I'm feeling some type of way. So I just made a thing for myself that I'm not gonna lend out money. If I can afford to give it, I give it. Otherwise, I'm sorry, I can't give it to you. And you got to be okay with telling people, no, I can't do that. Yeah. I can't honor your request. So, tag. Tag, you here.
Okay. Let me see where I'm going with this.
In your feelings.
Okay. In your feelings, yeah, just emotional about everything, man. That's really like all about you. You know what I'm saying? Not thinking of the consequences, repercussions, or the altitudes that it can take you to.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Because what is that quote? Your attitude determines your altitude.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It was another tude in there, but I can't think of what it was. But in your feelings, man, that's such a broad subject, especially these days.
Oh my God!
Because everybody wear their hearts on their sleeves today. You know what I'm saying? And myself included, if I don't catch myself, you know what I mean. But I have become better at recognizing self-actualization
and self-awareness. Yeah.
Self-awareness. You know what I'm saying? I've become more cognizant of my actions. And that's what it's all about.
It's a process.
It's about recognizing it.
Right.
And being in that moment and saying, hey, hold up. Stop being so damn sensitive. You know what I'm saying? And then responding with the proper answer. The appropriate answer, to the problem or the answer to the solution. So, that's, and it's not just women these days. It's men and women. I think it's something they putting in the food, like they say. You know what I'm saying? Cause remember, you the one had me read, go and get that Behold the Pale Horse now. I had Marshall go and find that book for me in 1998. Yeah, it was you. It was you. And guess what she told me? She told me she had to go and find that book, right? She told me she went to like 4 different places. Now this before Google and all that, right?
Right. It's in the 90s.
And she swore somebody was watching her when she got that book. And because she came back and reported this to me. So we early in the game, so she didn't know I was on that conspiracy stuff. She was like, I could have swore this white man was watching me. You know what I'm saying? But I remember that clearly though, man, and I read that book and I enjoyed it, you know what I mean? And I forgot what the point I was trying to make about that.
We were talking about something in the food.
Yeah, it's something in the food, man. Because these, I mean, it's just off the chain now. People want to fight, you know, and you know, about the most simplest things. All this, yeah, and all this killing going on because you stepped on my toe, because, you know what I'm saying, you didn't like my rap. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God!
Oh man!
These gangsters trying to be rappers, or these rappers trying to be gangsters.
Rappers trying to be gangsters.
And however,
everybody from the mud. Everybody lived in project houses,
which is mental food for you to act a fool, because you're not schooling your mind on your divine self, elevating your health mentally, emotionally, to recognize, recognize how to level up from the lower vibration to the high vibration and keep yourself out of frustrating situations by just saying, excuse me, I didn't mean to step on your shoe, my bad. And you ain't got to be no punk just because you told another man. That's actually stronger, spiritually speaking. You're the stronger person if you just let something slide. Or don't even take it that serious. And if my shoes are more important than your life,